Okay, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're decoding a totally game-changing concept for ambitious professionals, and we're pulling this directly from Chapter 10 of the December 1989 issue of Monthly Kofuku no Kagaku. Look, if you consider yourself a high achiever, or even if you're just aiming to be one, what we're about to unpack is going to completely reframe how you look at your daily routine. We're talking about the ultimate secret to a healthy, enduring life in the high-stakes business world. You see all this messaging out there about dedicating your life to your work, right? Finding your calling, becoming a quote-unquote super elite. It sounds absolutely inspiring. But here's the massive paradox that so many driven people completely miss. To achieve that extraordinary level of lifelong dedication, you need a high-performance vehicle that doesn't just break down halfway through the race. And that vehicle, well, it's you. It's your physical body. So, the absolute core of today's analysis really requires a massive mindset shift. The source material makes this unequivocally clear. Health management is a major responsibility for business professionals. Let that sink in. It's not a weekend hobby. It's definitely not something you just get around to when you magically have free time. It is your fundamental professional duty. If you're in business, keeping yourself in top operational shape is quite literally just as critical as hitting your quarterly targets. So here's how we're going to break down this investment thesis today. First, the professional's major responsibility. Then, strategic investment in health. Third, labor balance and sleep. Fourth, maintenance to prevent localized fatigue. And finally, living your calling lifelong.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the professional's major responsibility.
We've got to address the harsh reality of burnout among top-tier elites. It's a very simple equation, but one we constantly ignore. If the body breaks, the work stops. Period. You could have the greatest vision, the absolute sharpest intellect, and total dedication to your calling. But if you neglect your physical body, your capacity to execute grinds to an absolute halt. Your physical health isn't a distraction from your work. It's the very foundation of it. Moving right along to Section 2, strategic investment in health. I want you to start thinking of your body exactly like a corporate asset. In business, we all know that assets require strict capital allocation and continuous reinvestment just to keep functioning properly, right? So why on earth should your physical health be any different? The source strongly recommends proactively investing a deliberate slice of your resources, completely distinct from your work and your daily life, purely into exercise and body care. We aren't just talking about an occasional jog when you feel like it. This is a strategic allocation of your personal resources.
Specifically, the text advises investing a set percentage of your actual income and a dedicated portion of your daily time into this maintenance. Just really think about that for a second. Actually budgeting money and blocking out time on your calendar specifically for physical care. By intentionally allocating these resources, you're generating massive future ROI. You're ensuring your capability to perform at a high level remains totally uninterrupted for years to come.
This brings us to Section 3, labor balance and sleep. For most ambitious professionals today, work consists heavily of intense mental labor, right? Sitting at a desk, strategizing, analyzing data, making high-stakes decisions. Well, the source material emphasizes the critical need to balance this intense mental strain with physical release. Think of it like a seesaw. If you're doing heavy mental labor, you absolutely need physical exercise to balance things out, ensuring your mental system doesn't just completely overload and fry. And honestly, balancing this labor is totally impossible without securing adequate sleep. Sleep is presented here not as some kind of luxury for the weak, but as the foundational maintenance for any high-performing professional. It's your non-negotiable reset button. If you are regularly cutting into your sleep just to squeeze in more mental labor, you aren't getting ahead. You're actively degrading your primary asset. Now, let's look at Section 4, maintenance to prevent localized fatigue. The text specifically warns against letting fatigue accumulate in localized areas of your body. You got to pay close attention to those high-risk zones, specifically your eyes from intense focus and screen time, and your lower back from prolonged desk work. These are massive vulnerabilities for modern corporate workers. If you just grit your teeth and ignore a stiff back or strained eyes, you are literally allowing localized fatigue to build up into a massive systemic problem. The solution here is a proactive three-step approach. First, you identify exactly where that localized strain is happening. Second, you apply targeted body care. Maybe that's specific stretches, ergonomic adjustments at your desk, or even getting professional physical care. And third, by doing this, you prevent a total systemic breakdown. By actively clearing out this targeted fatigue rather than ignoring it, you stop minor wear and tear from taking your entire system offline. Which leads perfectly into our final section, Section 5, living your calling lifelong.
This really brings us to the ultimate career trajectory. Going back to that idea of the super elite. You simply cannot fulfill a lifelong calling or maintain that elite status without a durable, healthy vessel to actually carry out that mission over decades. Sure, ambition and willpower are absolutely essential, but they're housed within a biological framework that demands your respect and your upkeep. So, the definitive secret to a long, active career? It isn't just grinding harder and burning the midnight oil more than everyone else. According to this blueprint, the real secret is the proactive investment of your time and your money into your physical maintenance. It's recognizing that physical exercise, localized body care, and getting adequate sleep are the literal engines of your long-term success. That is exactly how you stay active, successful, and impactful for your entire life. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. I want you to look closely at your daily schedule, look at your monthly budget, and ask yourself a hard question. Are you investing enough in your most irreplaceable asset? If the answer is no, well, it might be time to restructure your portfolio and start treating your health like the foundational capital it truly is. Thanks for hanging out with me for this deep dive. And hey, start making those strategic investments today.